Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from Group 6 and my name is Muhammad Khalid. This is Nadia Nur Asifa and this is Rosina Bintang and the last is Lydia Aurena. And we will talk about language acquisition.
Okay, I will presentation about first sound. The early months of infant development provide significant insight into their language abilities, particularly in speech perception during the first year of life. Speech perception involves tasks like segmenting speech into meaningful units, recognizing one's name, and distinguishing similar sounding vowels. Infants as young as 2 months demonstrate the ability to match vowel sounds with corresponding facial movements, indicating an integration of auditory and visual information. These foundational speech perception skills play a crucial role in the development of more advanced language competencies. For example, recognizing their own name in speech, typically around the 5th month, may serve as a stepping stone for infants to identify novel adjacent words. Initial research in speech perception shows that infants, in their early months, can differentiate between similar sounds in both their native languages and other languages. However, as time progresses, infants become more attuned to their native languages and find it increasingly challenging to distinguish sounds in other languages. China requires research comparing Hindi and English-speaking adults with English-learning infants highlighted that infants initially possess the ability to differentiate sounds across various languages, but this native-like perceptual capacity diminishes early on. Crying is the first sound produced by all infants, beginning from birth. Although it may indicate a range of emotions like distress, discomfort, or boredom in the first month, it is not initially deliberate from a communication. Between the 2nd and 5th month, infants transition into cooing, producing vowel-like sounds often interpreted as expression of pleasure and playfulness. This marks a significant early stage in their vocal development. The second one is the first words. Around their first birthdays, children enter the holophoristic stage, where they start associating meanings with the sounds they produce. In this past infants, communication complex functions using single words like using mama for attention, description, or requesting something. Parents often claim to understand this hollow phrases through contextual cues, so it's challenging to empirically verify. While early talking is often praised, there is little evidence linking the timing of first word to later intelligence or developmental milestones. Children's initial words are typically considered objects related to everyday experiences, emphasizing content words over function words. For English learners, nouns dominate likely due to their excellence in sentence structure. However, in other languages like Korean, verbs may take precedence. Children also engage in semantic or extension, broad new word meanings, or under extension, learning them. Around age 2, they enter the 2-word stage, combining subject-verb or verb-modifier phrases with limited grammatical structure. Comprehension of words surpasses production ability with a delay of about 4 to 6 months. Toward the end of the 2nd year, children experience a vocabulary spurt, adding approximately 200 words monthly. By around 2.5 years, they progress to producing process of 3 or more words, entering the multi-word stage, characteristic by the graphic speech with simplified syntax and morphology. Okay, next presentation will be presented by my friend. Her name is Lindy Aliana.
Okay, next, morphological and syntactic development.
that children seem to begin to acquire these grammatical competence at a very young age and as in vocabulary development, comprehension skill, output prediction. Research has also demonstrated that morphological and syntactic development is predictable. In other words, all children follow similar patterns and pass through the same developmental sequence as their competence develop. Next, cross linguistic and cross cultural aspect of language acquisition. Page 1. The child uses the correct past tense of go, for instance, but does not relate this past when 10 present form go. Rather treat as a separate lexical item. Page 2. The child construct a root for forming the past and begins to offer generalities this rule to imaginary forms such as go, resulting in forms such as good. Best and Presti 3. The child learns that there are many exceptions to this rule and acquire the ability to evaluate this rule selectively.
Okay, the next material is behaviorism. Behaviorism is an early theory of language acquisition that emphasizes the language is a habit or behavior that is mastered through general learning principle. This theory reveals that children imitate and acquire language through positive reinforcement or punishment. For example, when children imitate their parents' word, positive parental response reinforces the child's language use, while inappropriate response tend not to be reinforced. These principles shape children's speech to conform to the standard of their language community. Okay, next material is nativism. Nativism rejects the view that language is not learned through common learning mechanism, but rather is an innate human capacity. They point out that children without any obvious teaching of effort can quickly master their mother tongue, and this ability appears consistent in children from different backgrounds. Nativism also emphasizes that children are capable of understanding complex grammar even though they receive imperfect input from adults. This view emphasizes that children are testing and creating language rules rather than simply imitating and receiving reinforcements. Okay, the next material is grammar comprehension. Nativism emphasizes that children are compatible of understanding complex grammar even if they receive imperfect input from adults. Okay, the next material will continue by Alif.
Connectionism. In connectionism or network learning approach, general learning mechanisms such as sensitivity to distributional patterns in the input are sufficient for at least some aspects of language acquisition, including grammar. The information processing approach or parallel distributed processing approach generally holds that processing is performed by nodes connected to other nodes in the network via pathways that vary in their strength. It means that connectionism is like part of brain that connected to each other and have sense to other. What I actually say is children can sense and make rules of language. For example, Lucas got or Isaac holded the baby ducks. The right grammar to say is Lucas went or Isaac held the baby ducks. It means that children can connect the language they used to hear oftenly, because in general, to change verb 1 or present tense to verb 2 or past tense is by adding ed in the last of word, but they did know that there are irregular verbs such as go and gone, hold, held, sing, sang, sang, and others. Enough that children can sense that there are rules to change present tense to past tense. Social interactionism. Social interactionists theory emphasize the importance of child-caregiver interaction in the language acquisition process. Also, social interactionists generally do not deny the existence of any type of LAD, language acquisition device. They tend to reduce the importance of such LAD and instead emphasize the role of LASS, Language Acquisition Support System, in explaining child language acquisition. I can say that language acquisition device is your main ability to gain language, and language acquisition support system is your second ability to gain language, because not all human in this world is well at their LAD, or language acquisition research device. So to improve your language, you need to use your certain ability or language acquisition system. Social interactionists have focused of the characteristics of language used to in this interaction is, and in particular on child-directed speech. An important part of language acquisition support system is the daily contact and emotional bond that a child has with his or her caregiver during play, meals, and bathing. Even before they are able to produce speech, children can interact with their caregivers through these kinds of interaction. What's stake in the child language debate? The study of language acquisition is not only concerned with understanding how children acquire language, but also our understanding of the human mind and how it works. In psychology and many other fields, there is a very long debate about the importance of nature and nurture in human development, with naturalists emphasizing the importance of biological and genetic programming, while nurturists point to the role of the environment. I can say that nature is your main ability or language acquisition device, and nurture is your second ability or language acquisition support system.
Okay, that's all from us.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.